Okay, I got leaky valve cover gaskets. Kind of got this thing tucked in here. I thought they were gaskets, but they're showing them these funky O-ring things. So let's find out. First thing I got to do is get this engine cowling out of the way. So down here you got an electrical connector for the lights, which I don't know if I can do by hand, with one hand I mean. That's probably going to take two hands. And then, as typical on these Craftsman, I'm just going to tilt this thing back and lift it up off of there. See if I can find a position to put the camera and I'll show you that. Alright, let's see if this works. Remove the cowling of a Craftsman riding mower, and the three I've got, they're all the same. So once you disconnect the light harness wherever it may be, you open this thing up, you tilt it back a little bit, and it picks right up. See the little thingies right there? It just kind of sits in the groove. Those little slots, you just pick this thing right up, gravity holds it in there. And that is all there is to it. It's right on these little pins here, and then the stops are right up in there. So anytime you need to work on this thing, you just pop that sucker right off of there. Okay, now I got at my valve cover gaskets. I guess that's the breather. As you can see, it's pretty caked up with stuff, but right here's the exhaust system, and this thing's been dripping right out of there onto the exhaust. So it got to the point where it's poofing smoke as I go along mowing the grass, so it's definitely time. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the air cleaner off of here. I can get that off of there, see what size those are, and just have a look. I'll probably put a pan under here to catch any spillage. I haven't been in here in quite some time. I wouldn't be surprised, it's been 4 years. I'm gonna put a new one on it. Definitely needs to be cleaned. Leave that right like that for now. Okay, let me get a socket with this thing. See, that's gonna pull off like so. Yep, that's gonna have to come off too. There's gonna be two tiny little bolts in there. So let's get to that. Alright, these are 1/4 inch. I'm using a deep socket, so it goes right up in there. Take those off. And these are 5/16. Pop those off of there. Alright, the clamp comes off, which holds that. These screws come off. Of course, oil is dumping out of there. And this little support bracket at the back, it's got a little plate on it. And the support, looks like a little U clamp. Got an exhaust system. And you got these cool shouldered bolts. Let's see. Have a look at this as it comes off. Look at that. It's got a groove in the valve cover for the O-ring to go in. Very cool. Now the O-ring is right here. Huh. Really doesn't look like what I got, but that came right out of the parts manual. So we'll just have a look, shall we? Oh, hold on, look at that right there. Says O-ring black. but it's got this funny look to it. I guess so. I want to get that dirty though, so yeah. Alright, so next thing's going to be to clean this all up. Clean that up. And before I close this thing up, I will turn the motor over and make sure I got clearance on the valves. I think they're like 6 thousandths or something like that. But that's pretty much it. Same going to be on that side without the breather. Breather just stuck into the top there. I'll get my Sure Shot with brake clean in it and clean that all up and spray all this down. And then all up in here, and then do a good inspection while I'm up here. See what condition those valve covers are in and paint them if I need to. That's pretty much it. I'm pulling those things off. Pretty straightforward. Alright, once you clean these things up, and these are really nice. I'm not sure what they're made out of. Aluminum or... These are very high quality. Anyway, these seals, not to call them O-rings because they're not O-rings, they're square seals now with these little tits on either side. The reason for those little tits is to hold them in place. You see this nice big groove around here, and these things, just pulled them out of the package. I was thinking I was going to have to leave them out, let them acclimate or warm up or something to stretch them out. But let's see, I think I can maybe even do this with one hand because they stretch just enough. That. Look at it. There we go. So they actually fit down in that groove, and those little rivets stick on the other side. Hold them in the slot. So that's fantastic. Those things will stay put. Now I'm going to push this one in there and let it sit out here. The other one fits in there real nice. Let them sit that way. I got to clean the top of the cylinder heads there. You can see down with the breather, that just fits right on in there, perfect. So taking my Sure Shot, my brake cleaner. Sorry, I wasn't ready. And my air blast. Sure Shot with my 5-gallon brake cleaner over there, and I'm simply gonna clean the outside a little bit. I don't want to squirt it up inside the push rod tubes or anything, but I'll just give this a little shot around it and clean them up. And I'll go ahead and clean up in here and everything else around in here that I can get to with the blaster. And before I put this all back together, I'll go ahead and grease the front end. But hopefully that's going to take care of all my leaks there. And we're going to check the valves before we put it all back together. Okay, so this is interesting. I hadn't even looked at these. I figured out I got to make sure the valves are adjusted properly. Yeah, maybe. I look at the manual. Valve clearance not adjustable. You see that right under there? Not adjustable. And you look on here, looks like they're just bolted down to the studs there. Yeah, a little bit of tiny bit of slop in there, but that's weird. So I guess I'm not adjusting the valves, so guess we'll put a little oil on top of there just to make sure and go ahead and bolt these valve covers back on there. I've kind of cleaned everything up in there. Do a little more cleaning, get some oil off the exhaust, but other than that, oh well, I guess we can put the valve covers back on.